Very good afternoon, friends. Meeting again in the session of Materia Medica from fourth year class. One more important remedy from exam point of view as well as from clinical point of view, practical point of view. Today we're going to learn, which has very close association with the heart. Very important remedy, in fact, for heart is the Crataegus. Crataegus I have used n number of times in many patients. There are varieties of things which are there. If you understand clinically the picture of Crataegus, then you will not forget the Crataegus. Congestive cardiac failure. First word you must keep it in your mind is congestive cardiac failure, where myocardium is at fault. Because of myocarditis, the myocardium goes into the fault, and this remedy shows a typical picture of heart failure. And that's why you're going to get a very weak pulse, very low volume pulse, with a giddiness, with a vertigo, with a dyspnea on slightest exertion or breathlessness on slightest exertion. Then you can get a typical generalized edema, very characteristic of congestive cardiac failure, which you can get over there. It is a wonderful remedy to dissolve the crustaceous calcareous deposits on the earth, venous system or in the arterial system, and that's why it is generally called to be a general tonic of the heart. When the cardiomyopathy picture is there and when ef is very less, this remedy do a wonderful work. When in 2D echocardiogram, if you get that ejection fraction becomes less because of the dilated heart, because of the weak musculature of the heart, and there is no remedy in allopathy. I have used this remedy in many times. One patient where the EF was 15% only, when I started the Crataegus, it found to be a latter 45 to 50 range. One child I have treated where the congenital problem was there, or whether it has developed later because of infectious heart, they could not come to the conclusion. The child was only 15 months, and his EF was only 15%. And everyone have said that there are no hopes in this case. And now, after 2 years, when I observe that 2D echocardiography shows that 55% of EF, as good as normal. Crataegus is a wonderful remedy to stimulate the heart musculature, and it again regains the strength of the heart. Then it is again a very good remedy for the hypertension also. Two opposite ends, one failure side where another the hypertension. Hypertension with the dilated heart. This is very, very, very useful remedy. In order to make the heart safe during the infectious diseases, one must use or add the Crataegus mother tincture. It is a wonderful remedy to prevent getting the myocarditis or degeneration of myocardium in such types of cases. Then one more important use, only one remedy in whole Materia Medica, used for diabetes in children, very wonderful remedy. I have used in juvenile diabetes many times, and it settles blood sugar level. The fluctuations which happens in juvenile diabetes cases are can be very easily controlled over there. Then again, one more thing, this remedy has also angina pectoris features, where the pen is specifically below the left clavicle in the left side of chest, and that shows a typical characteristic of the Crataegus. So this remedy, one should not forget in such types of clinical features, and these clinical features with which if you treat such types of patient, it gives you confidence to prescribe the Crataegus, and we can understand many things over there. One more feature which was there in irregularity of the pulse, that also you can get with the Crataegus. So open your Boericke's Materia Medica. We'll learn this wonderful remedy from the Boericke's Materia Medica. It is on page number 237. Crataegus, that is the hawthorn berries. It is a remedy from Rosaceae family. What is this? Produces giddiness, lowered pulse, and air hunger, and reduction in blood pressure. Hypotension because of cardiac failure. Typical features of cardiac failure. Acts on muscles of heart and is a heart tonic. Very important. In italics, it has been written by Boericke and it has significance. No influence on endocardium. Again, a negative general. It has very specific action only on myocardium. In Adonis Vernalis, we have seen that all three layers of the heart gets affected. The myocarditis, the endocarditis, the pericarditis. But this remedy has very specific action on myocardium. Myocarditis, failing compensation, means it is not able to contract properly, and that's why it cannot make the required amount of force. Irregularity of the heart, insomnia of aortic sufferers, where aortic wall is either at the problem or in the aorta itself there is a lot of deposits, and because of which the problem arises and heart gets dilated. Anemia, edema, and cutaneous chilliness. High arterial tension is a sedative in cross-irritable patients with cardiac symptoms. See, very important symptom which I have mentioned. It acts as a sedative in irritable persons who becomes cross on certain things because of heart. Whenever the restlessness, nervousness, anxiety, or moroseness happens in patients who have the heart problems, Crataegus is a wonderful remedy. Chronic heart disease with extreme weakness, very feeble and irregular heart action, general anasarca. See the picture of congestive failure. Very nervous with pain in back of the head and neck. Collapse of typhoid. So collapse, that is shock state after typhoid. It is a very good remedy. Hemorrhages from the bowels in typhoid. Cold extremities, pallor, irregular pulse and breathing. Painful sensation of pressure in the left side of chest below the clavicle. Underline this sentence. This is very typical area where patient explains the pain. Dyspepsia with nervous prostration, with heart failure. In the beginning of heart mischief after rheumatism. This is again to prevent the rheumatic heart disease. Very good remedy in such types of cases. Arteriosclerosis, already we have discussed, said to have a solvent power upon crustaceous and calcareous deposits in the arteries. So this is one remedy. If patients are suffering from such a things, you must add to your constitutional remedy, Crataegus mother tincture, and you can give 10 drops 3 times a day or 15 drops twice a day, and you can use it for longer time of duration. It definitely produces a good result. I've seen it many times in my practice. Head symptoms, apprehensive and despondent, and this apprehensiveness or despondency happens because of the heart disease, chronic heart disease. Very new, nervous and irritable with pain in back of the head and neck, the mental dullness, conjunctival irritation, nasal discharges. But most important feature which you can get over there at the mental level, it is the restlessness, the moroseness. I will share the screen where uh, there are symptoms which are very important. I will show you. See, you're going to get over there a typical single remedy rubrics in of the mind of this Crataegus. There is concentration difficult dinner lunch after. Crataegus pertumas. Dirtiness, aversion to menses, 1 mark. Dreams of water, sea, ocean, of muddy, that is 1 mark. Then mistakes making heart complaints in. Very important symptom which you can get is the again a Crataegus for 1 mark. Morose, sulky heart complaints in. So patient becomes so sad. The sadness expresses over there because of heart complaints. 1 mark. Restlessness, nervousness, wine ameliorates. That is one more feature which you can get over there. So these are very typical features which you can get many times in such types of patient. Urinary complaint, diabetes, especially in children, very important, underline and use practically. Heart, cardiac dropsy, already I have mentioned. Fatty degeneration of the heart, pathological general. Aortic disease, extreme dyspnea on least exertion indicates failure without much increase of pulse. Pain in the region of heart and under the left clavicle, again given in italics. Heart muscle seems flabby, worn out. Because of the cuff is the secondary indication of congestive cardiac failure. Heart is dilated, the first heart sound is weak. Very specific thing which mentioned over there. Pulse is accelerated, irregular, feeble, and intermittent. Volvular murmurs, angina pectoris. Cutaneous chilliness, blueness of fingers and toes because the of less blood supply to the parts, failure heart produces such features. All aggravated by exertion or excitement. Sustains hurt in infectious diseases. Very, very important feature. Sustains hurt in infectious diseases. Skin excessive perspiration, skin eruptions. Sleep insomnia of aortic patients. Modalities worse in warm room, better in fresh air and quiet and rest. It is a typical picture of congestive cardiac failure because of which patient feels better in rest position and in open air where oxygenation, quite good oxygenation maintains the patient. Relationship, he has mentioned Strophanthus, the Digitalis, the Iberis, the Naja and Cactus. Dose mentioned by Boericke is fluid extract or tincture 1 to 15 drops must be used for some time in order to obtain the good results. And I suggest that definitely it has a wonderful results when you repeat the remedy for longer time of duration. I have seen that many times this hypercholesterolemia can be treated along with a proper diet, and you can remove all those deposits in on the coronaries with the help of Crataegus. Wonderful remedy to be used in heart complaints. So we have learned one more remedy from fourth year syllabus and very useful in clinical practice. We'll meet again with someone another more important remedy from your syllabus. Till that, thank you.